Hello.
Hello. Oh man.
Hi.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday again. How you doing?
I'm fan freaking tastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Loved
Nice
hearing that.
nice rainy day here. It's been kind of gray clouds all day today. Sun was out for a few very
Mm-hmm.
early. And I was like, maybe I should go for a walk, but then it started getting cloudy, so
Okay.
didn't
I didn't
like want to
step out
get.
of my house.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I didn't either. Like I've pretty much just been in the house. I made some bread today, for the
Uh-huh.
first time. It was interesting. I'm gonna try again next week.
Oh, okay.
It tastes good though. It definitely tastes good. The taste is there. Just needed to proof up more.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd
bread
have
is
ate
definitely yeah. Bread is definitely one of those things where it'll teach you patience, and it's definitely levels to it, and a strategy.
it. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Okay.
man,
I just vegged out today.
yeah. So
I
wow, it's
pumped
like
I pumped out a
already.
bunch of videos, stuff like that. Nothing nothing big.
Oh yeah, I just I just uploaded stuff on YouTube. Our
Mm-hmm.
last couple episodes with some shorts and everything. Good
Okay.
for everybody to watch. Some
Okay,
nice
cool.
entertainment. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the end of January already.
Yeah, I know, right? Next thing you know it,
Right?
it'll be December 31st.
Oh man,
All
that'll be
over again.
crazy. December 31st, man.
Yep. That's the way I gotta look at it because I'm like, I gotta get shit done this year. There's no wasting time. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, right? It's sort of like you look at certain things like, oh, is this worth it to like put this much energy into you know, not necessarily the podcast aspect, but like just as far as like social media and everything. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at like this video earlier where this lady was pointing out that social media isn't real. So she basically used this couple that was doing videos dancing together. You would think that they so happy. Then all of a sudden, you see she posted a picture of him and with a mugshot, talk about that he like killed his partner or whatever that he was in the videos with. I was like, man, that's kind of whack. Like, and to think that's
Jeez.
not the first time I heard about a story like that. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, people do
Mm-hmm.
get too caught up in this social media. Yeah,
Wow.
no.
I wasn't expecting. That's crazy.
Well, I'm just glad they weren't,
Jeez.
our
Mm-hmm.
type of melanated. That made me a little bit happy.
Oh, okay.
They weren't melanated, so, or at least they don't identify as melanated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like that's a bit dramatic to be
That
doing
is,
stuff
right?
like that. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, like what the heck happened? Like who was this
Mm-hmm.
putting a heart on your comment? Like what caused
Mm-hmm.
that? Like what set that off? But I could see that happening because
People
people
be
be.
crazy.
Yeah, people be crazy. People be thinking like, "Oh, I gotta be on social media all the time." Like, you gotta take a break from that,
Mm-hmm.
especially like with all the whenever it's like a police brutality thing. Like, look, I don't want to watch any more of that trauma porn. Yeah, like, look, we don't.
Yeah,
We need
that's
to
like
stop being reactive to that stuff. Like, ugh.
just acknowledge it happened and try
Yeah,
to
and then
get
move on.
something
And
done.
I had to snooze some people, whoever like posted the video or the article. I'm like, look, I'm snoozing you for 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta put them on restriction like Facebook would do to you.
I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see none of
Like,
this.
no, yes, you can't. I will not allow this on my feed. Yeah.
No, you ain't gonna send my nervous system haywire. My nervous
Mm-hmm.
system ain't gonna be haywire because of y'all. But
Yep.
wow, again, episode 15 of the Wine Fine Podcast.
15.
Men, stay out of women affairs. So before we get into that, Azima, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on YouTube and Facebook as OZD Wellness and Fitness. That's OZIDI. And where can we find you, Jovani?
Yep. So yeah, you can find me on all platforms, same handle at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube, and everyone, please subscribe to the Wine Fine Podcast on YouTube. We got some older videos on there that you can listen to as well, and we'll also be definitely uploading this video for your entertainment, and then we would love to go live directly from there, but you know, you got to get them subscribers up.
Mm-hmm.
So man,
Yes.
this okay, so today, right, you know, I came across this video. Now this is not the first time I've heard a man kind of talking about menstrual cycles and whether it's natural or anything. You know, for me, I don't ever talk about how to build houses, bridges, railroads, or even I kind of stay out of sports too, you know? I mean,
Yeah, I
I'll,
don't talk
I'll
about
talk
any of that stuff.
I'll talk about a little bit of what I know or whatever, but as far as, you know, breaking down stats, I stay in my lane, you know?
Yeah, I know nothing. Proud
Yeah.
of it.
But we got this dude that you know, I'm so glad they his video was originally on TikTok, and I'm so glad that they took it off there because he definitely ruffled some feathers saying what he said. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna play the video in a few, but I just, you know, the first time I heard a man speak on menstrual cycles and whether it's normal or how the frequency should be, he blocked me. He blocked me and he blocked another friend of mine there because we got on his post, you know, talk about what are you talking about? If a woman doesn't have a menstrual cycle, she's gonna go into early menopause and everything. But this video right here, he definitely takes
Mm-mm.
the cake. He really
I bet.
does. And I'm just glad I was able to get a recording of it before TikTok took it down.
Okay.
And you know, so man, let's get right into this because this is gonna be a lot to unpack. I'm also gonna just go into some articles, well really, you know, a site I came across, you know, the encyclopedia, and also another site that talks about the animals that menstruate as well, not just us humans but us the non-humans that menstruate as well. So this is going to be
Okay.
pretty interesting to go over, and I'm just really looking forward to hearing the comments to this particular video right here as well, because you know
Okay.
it's so let me go ahead and play it, and just let me know what the heck y'all think, or let's just have a discussion about it. Wait, dog. Did you know that all women that's having menstrual cycles right now shouldn't be having them, and it's unnatural? I'm gonna tell you why. Women are meant to have one cycle once every 4 years, but based on the diet and the way everybody treat their bodies, you have a period menstrual cycle once a month. And it's sometimes rough depending on how rough you are to the body. All that can go away by changing your diet. Because if you look at a holistic person, you look it up, a holistic woman has a menstrual cycle once every 4 years. If you clean up your diet, any woman that's going through menstrual cycles, it's hurt, it's painful. Every month you have this hemorrhage of blood leaking from your body. If you want to change it, change your diet. That's all it is the body, your body pushing out toxins. Now trust me. You don't trust me. Research and understand what a menstrual cycle is. So who wants to go first? Like, you know what? When I made my little TikTok clip earlier, you know, kind of like telling people we about to be on live tonight regarding this. I thought about tagging him to be petty, but I was like, no, let me not even do that and stuff, because then he'll probably report the video, and I don't even want
Yeah,
to go through
we
all of
don't need
that.
that kind of drama.
Yeah,
We
but
got a
man,
comment.
I wanted to be petty. I wanted to be petty. God, I wanted to be petty and tag him in it, but I didn't. I just was like, all right, Jovani, we want to kind of have an intelligent conversation about this.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
Matter of fact, let's just grab this comment right here real quick, and then we'll just go out and unpack all of this.
All right, sounds good.
The irony of him saying to research understand what the menstrual cycle is. Who is this guy? Why are we even listening to him? How does he have a platform?
Yo, he has over
Listen,
200,000 followers.
listen,
Like,
he had,
we have to do
yes, he
this.
had too many daggone followers. He was up in the 200,000 followers. So
Yeah,
we have to say something. We
we're
have to.
doing our duty. Yes.
Because but luckily TikTok took it down, but the video's still on Facebook. If they decide to take it off of there, I still have a copy for myself, just to laugh at it. So the research, he clearly read some space cadets little miniature book that they probably just got information from, like Sabi, Layla Africa. They probably just took a bunch of information from all of these, like, so-called holistic, vegetarian, vegan, raw, alkaline, individuals. Not saying
Hmm.
that their tactics don't work, but there is, on the video in TikTok, that not on TikTok, on Facebook, there was a young lady who said she's been a vegan for a long time and still was having issues with her menstrual cycle. So to say that, it's the diet, there's clearly some more there going on that just cannot be fixed with the diet alone. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's we'll definitely get more into that, of, what has been said as far as what causes, an imbalance of a menstrual cycle. All right. One more comment.
Hmm.
What did he say that um t- we're releasing toxins?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what he said. Those are the words he chose. Yes.
And then, see, that's the thing about it. Like, just being out in this environment, with the cars, chemtrails, household cleaners. We don't know what people are, just out and about. We don't know what toxins are in the air. So no matter what, we're exposed to toxins all day, every day, when we're living in this world. The only way we won't be exposed to toxins is if we're out way in the country somewhere with
Hmm.
a lot of trees and everything. So
Filtered air.
filtered air. So he's set to do research, even though I've myself had my cycle ever since I was 11 years old. So with his logic, um, if I have my cycle at 11 years old, the next time I should have my cycle is 15 years old. And after that, the next time I should have my cycle is 19 years old. With this, we would sure be helping out Bill Gates and all those psychos with population control. We would
Yeah.
we would not have as much people here today if we didn't have a menstrual cycle as often as we do.
That's
Now,
correct.
I will say this. Now, he should have got more of the information instead of putting, I don't even know where he got this information from, because I took the liberty to Google what animal has a cycle once every 4 years. And you know what? Nothing came up.
No.
Nothing.
What a surprise.
I know it is a surprise. So, I decided to research it. And, just beyond me, like, why do y'all feel so passionate about talking about women matters when there's a lot of men out there who won't even get prostate exams?
Hmm. Very confusing.
Like
Yep.
like there's a lot of men that don't even go to the doctors themselves. But you want to give a woman advice on a menstrual cycle that you never experienced? You never felt the cramp. You never wore a pad. You never wore a cup. You never wore a tampon. But you want to say that somebody needs to change up their diet in order to have a better menstrual cycle, or to have a menstrual cycle like a holistic woman and have it every 4 years.
Mm, 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 mm.
So we got documentation here to beat the conversation. So, New World Encyclopedia research begins here. Menstruation is a periodic discharge of blood and cells from the lining of a non pregnant uterus in human females and some non human primates, such as chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutan. Menstruation begins at puberty and ends at menopause. The menstrual cycle is the entire recurrent cycle of the physiological changes in females that is associated with reproductive fertility, while menstruation is a part of that cycle that involves the shedding of the uterine lining between ovulations.
Okay.
So, I'm definitely gonna post the link for that. I'm not gonna read everything, but what I am gonna point out is the frequency that the non-human females have a menstrual cycle. Y'all ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready.
so, so when they mention orangutans, right? So a
Yeah.
menstrual cycle for them lasts 28 days, and the duration of their period is 4 to 5 days.
Okay. Pretty close.
Pretty, yeah, exactly.
Pretty close. Yeah.
And now, it's funny because you know how he mentioned you got to change your diet and everything, but a lot of these primates are vegetarians.
Ah.
So, uh, and
Ah.
they
There goes the
may eat
contradiction in that.
bugs, right? They may
Mm-hmm.
eat bugs, but they mostly eat like plants and everything. They're mostly
Mm-hmm.
vegetarians. So, are they? Is their menstrual cycle unnatural?
Yeah, because it's happening.
It
Happening
happens,
for
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Exactly. Gorillas. Menstrual cycle lasts about 30 days, and the duration of their period is between 2 to 3 days. Bleeding is easily detectable.
Okay. There you go
Um,
again.
bonobos, I never heard of those, but they are a primate. Cycle lasts 32 to 35 days, and the duration is, oh my gosh, their duration of the period is between 17 to 36 days.
Oh, poor
Oh,
animals.
oh
Are they
man.
violent? Are they violent?
Let's check that out. Since we here,
Let
I
me
didn't
have my
come in
period
to
for
check that.
17 days. I'll be throwing my shit.
Let's see. Are bonobos violent? Look at that. They are a form of a chimpanzee. They tend to be peaceful and led by females. They maintain a
Oh,
relationship and settle conflicts through sex.
okay.
However, but they aren't entirely violence free. If two groups of bonobos come together, they engage in serious fighting.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that having a period for that long, I could definitely understand that. Chimpanzees. Menstrual cycle lasts about 37 days, and the duration of the period is around 14 days.
I get-
Their
that
bleeding is
explains
not
why you
as,
see them with a diaper on.
yeah, exactly. So now, the lesser apes, the higher order primate belonging to the ape family. We got the old world monkeys. Baboons. Cycle ranges from 30 to 35 days. The Patas monkeys. Cycle range from 24 to 27 days. The vervet monkeys, their cycle 30 to 31 days. These other two, I cannot pronounce their name and I don't want to butcher it, but it's the Magna bees, 30 to 34, and the Maquis. Please forgive me if I'm spelling that wrong, saying that wrong, but their cycle range about a month. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's another one called a spiny mouse that is in Africa. Their cycle ranges from 6 to 10 days. Menstrual cycle lasts for 3 days. And
Mm-hmm.
lastly, bats. You know, they say how COVID came along because they was eating bats.
Yeah.
Their menstrual cycle is 21 to 27 days and can last about 5 days or so.
Okay.
So,
Hey.
I mean, I would love to, nah, but you know what? No sense of arguing with an idiot in public, Would love
No.
to, but this is just some things we want to point out here. Let's go ahead and grab this comment.
He's so off the mark that it's kind of hard to even try to debunk what he's saying because it just, there's no basis for it and it doesn't make sense. And if he wants to go with the it's unnatural argument, then what could be more natural than your body preparing for reproduction every month and releasing an egg when it's failed to be fertilized? Like, that's literally natural. I don't even know what to say because it just everything he said made so little sense that you'll catch yourself in like a hole trying to like debunk it.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I know I watched it a couple times just in disbelief. Like, did this fool really say this? Did he really say every 4 years? Like,
Yeah, he said
that,
every 4 years.
like, that is just unheard of. Like, where did you get this information from? Like, who, who little book you read? You had to read somebody's book, or I don't know. Got it from somewhere. But what I will say is our cycles don't need to be taking a lot of energy out of us. I think when it comes to the way how your cycle, the duration, the pain and everything, I feel that's our bodies telling us something that, something is clearly, going wrong, or that something we need to check into. A lot of times, the lack of vitamin D can definitely send our cycles into a whirlwind. We may not be catching enough sun, or, taking the vitamin D supplements. I would agree that we may need to be eating more omega-3 fatty acids. I would agree that our cycle doesn't need to be 7 to 14 days and stuff, or we don't need to be changing pads every day, all day, all day, multiple times a day and everything. I would agree with that if he had came from that aspect, but he clearly didn't. Maybe he was just clout chasing or just being foolish. But let's grab this comment here.
I'm doing my small little part in the larger picture, but every guy I sleep with, I pretty much educate them on the reproductive system and the menstrual cycle.
Oh, how
Hey,
nice.
I mean, I think that's a beautiful thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to educate them, because I know in New York we got, kind of that education in school, in junior high
Yeah.
school and stuff. So I can dig that. Some men really should be educated on that, and it's a beautiful thing if a man keeps up with your menstrual cycle as well. You know?
Yeah, he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching, he's understanding and
Hmm.
everything. So but
My husband knows when it's coming. He's like, "Oh, you're different." Let me go
yeah,
to the other side of the house.
yeah. I know for me, I always get that the triangle breakout, the kind of like the pimples that like always I like this past cycle, I was like, okay, that's an isosceles triangle there. That's an obtuse triangle. because the three pimples you could hit, they was all in all these different they was all in the same area, but they
You gotta have a
all,
crop circle on
depending
your
on how you
face.
outlined it, I was like, okay, this is isosceles right there. This is obtuse. So it
Mm-hmm.
was, hilarious. But yeah, I know that, women, I guess I don't know. Maybe the guy's trying to get more women to come his way, so that maybe for women that don't know no better. But I would hope that women at this age would know better about their cycles. Maybe he's just trying to get a lot of women to come to him and follow him and stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, but I mean, I'm wondering, like, maybe he talks about veganism. Maybe he's around women that are vegan and realize that their cycles don't come often or something like that. I mean, I've never heard that it would affect any woman just because they're vegan to, change their whole cycle around like that.
Well, just like earlier, like the first when I first seen this video on Facebook, whoever, like the person clearly, like, recorded, screen recorded, and uploaded it on their Facebook, and somebody else shared it. And so then there was a woman on there that was like, I was a whole vegan, and I like asked her, I was like, okay, so with you being a vegan, how did that impact your cycle? Did it make it better? And she basically said no, it didn't.
It made it
um
worse, right? Heavier flows,
She didn't
irregularity.
necessarily say it was heavier, so I'm not gonna like put words in her mouth. But
Mm-hmm.
she could have also. I probably should have asked her if she's been eating like that vegan processed food to get a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for me, I know my cycles are like they're really good when I like eat more fish, and when I'm just making sure that I'm exercising. The most important thing I feel, you just got to be exercising and making sure that you're resting good, and that you're taking in iron and everything.
Yes. I actually
And
take iron pills.
yeah, taking in iron, taking your the female balancing herbs and everything, like some red raspberry tea, like Damiana, those type of stuff, and doing maintenance like yoni steams and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
swear by those, or even like just some castor oil packs. Those are some good stuff to kind of where we're doing some self-care. And
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think a man should be talking about any of that. Sure, he should have a general understanding of it, but no way should he be the one trying to tell somebody you need to only be menstruating once every 4 years. Like it's like a fucking leap year or some shit?
Mm-hmm. Full moon.
Yeah. Like we bleed, like, and that's another thing. Like our cycles come with the phases of the moon. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
that um this past moon, like my cycle came right on the new moon, like right on the same day. So that means I was ovulating on the full moon. So
Uh-huh.
let's go ahead and grab this comment.
Yeah, you could go buy the pads too.
What do you mean by that? Go buy the pads.
Who said go buy them? And
I think it
and
was
if I may,
Carol.
like, what I have noticed, because I like
Mm-hmm.
switch between like, right, store-bought pads that claim to be, not chlorine free and all that stuff, and then I have like some reusable like cloth pads as well. I found it feels like that when I put on the store-bought pads, even though that they're like chlorine free and free of all that yakety smackety stuff, it still feels like it's almost like it's pulling the pulling the blood down some more, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. But when I'm like dealing with the cloth ones, they're not it's I'm not feeling the need to change as often. I could pretty much keep one on like the whole day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like when you're dealing with the store-bought ones, that's when it feels like, oh, okay, gotta change it more, because I guess maybe
Was
the way how the
over absorbing?
right, that's, yeah, for
Okay.
sure, yeah. But
Okay. Even you saying that even with the cotton, I mean like those new brands of cotton pads, it's doing the same thing.
well, the cloth ones, they don't I don't feel that it's making me have to change more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with the ones that you get from the store, it feels like, even though they may not be the Always brand or the Stay Free or the Kotex, it still feels like that it makes you bleed more, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Honestly, I never paid attention to my experience with my period.
yeah.
I mean, like, looking at the pad and stuff like that, or the tampon. I never really noticed anything out of the ordinary. But I'm on a IUD, so my periods are much lighter and don't last as long. And the only thing I experience is the PMS. So I know
Hey.
my period's coming because of my PMS. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, okay, I'm crying a little too much, or I'm
Yeah,
upset.
that be the thing. You be watching some. That's all I know is coming to you. Watching something like, yeah, it ain't even like something really sad. Be like, oh my god, how could they do that?
Uh-huh. You watch it
Like,
again.
an awful person.
Then your period comes, you're like, that explains everything.
Yeah, yeah, man.
It's too funny.
But yeah, just back to, this dude, again, I can't stress enough how I'm just glad they took his video down. Them women were ripping him apart in the comments. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't even look like he responded to anyone. And it's like, you bringing all that attention to yourself for what? Because the moment you say something stupid or something incorrect, nothing else you say after that, people will take you seriously.
That goes for everything, though. I feel like people really need to check themselves before they open their mouth and give
Exactly. Like, how dare you? Like,
talk that way. Yeah.
yeah, because we all know that, for men with their sperm cells and their semen and everything, they go through sort of a cycle. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna get on no social media or anything and start talking about it. I just know that they go through their own similar cycle, but it's differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're gonna be like,
I honestly don't know what that is. I
right.
Until just now, you just said that. I'm like, oh, really?
They have one, but I remember I was in biology class. They literally went through all of that and explained how it is, but I don't. I remember the pictures, and I just was like, "Oh wow, interesting." But I won't ever get on you know, on social media talking about it, acting like I'm an expert. I'm not getting into that because I don't remember that now. Because I've lived the female menstrual cycle, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it and everything. So
I'll
just
be
glad you.
honest. Yeah, go ahead, grab them.
It's irresponsible to give such false advice. And then also, it's harmful to like say it as though you know better than doctors when you're not a medical professional.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're not a medical professional. You never experienced this yourself. You probably just maybe been around women who, you may be like, oh, look at their diet and all this stuff. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why they having all this. No, like stress can definitely be a motherfucker on the body. Like
Yeah.
we don't never know what causes anything, as far as a bad menstrual cycle. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can eat junk food right before your menstrual cycle and have a terrible
Jack
period
you
coming
all
up.
up. Exactly. Yeah.
You can eat, like, you got to eat for your cycle beforehand. You can't just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat, these chili cheese fries. I'm gonna eat this pizza. I'm gonna eat these burgers, these cheeseburgers, these onion rings and stuff. But then when my period come, I'm just gonna drink this red raspberry tea and drink all these, womb teas. It don't work that way. You gotta prepare beforehand. Manage your stress levels, make it so you're sleeping good, making sure you're giving your body key nutrients. Stay away from that processed food,
Yeah.
and you can have a pleasant cycle. Another comment here.
Well, there are a lot of podcasts by men telling women how to be, how to look, how to live. So now they're talking about our health.
Mm.
There's a lot of guys out there telling how women should be and everything. I think a lot of them is just probably speaking from a place of like trauma, or they're like venting. They're you know trying to get their
Yeah.
voice out there. I know I've seen a meme where people were joking around like seek therapy instead of starting a podcast.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh,
I mean, it's a little too late now. We're on like
I
episode
can't
15.
stand the internet when they say stuff like that.
I'm like, I gotta talk to somebody. Or
I
maybe I
gotta
should just
talk to
talk to the
somebody. I
public.
know what to do. I'm gonna start a podcast. Oh, I'm gonna start
Start
a
venting
podcast.
some shit that don't make no sense.
Yeah, but
Who the hell am I?
at least the dudes I came across before that was trying to speak on this, at least they didn't totally, well, no, they still was speaking that unnatural stuff. Um I don't know.
I've seen a bunch of men talk about that it don't make sense. They didn't understand it either. Just like they there's men who do understand that this is the way the body takes care of itself, and to not
Yeah,
have it is not healthy.
it's
So
not
they're
meant.
aware.
Some things are not meant for you to understand, like women that wear fajas and waist trainers. It's not meant for you to understand that. Mind your business. Like,
Women who have long hair and then put a wig on.
yeah,
It just is. We want to wear a
sometimes
wig.
you want to switch it up. Sometimes, it's like, I know if I wear a wig or a weave or something or some braids, I'm gonna get like a different hair color, like because I don't want to dye my hair, but I will be happy to wear, if I see a wig that looks like a weave, because I'm not wearing a wig
Hmm.
that looks like a wig. I'm not making it
Hmm.
obvious. But if it's a wig looking weave, then I'll be happy to wear that. But just back to the waist trainers and fajas. We'll just touch on this briefly. There'll be a lot of men be like, not a lot of men, but people be like, "Oh, waist trainers don't work." I'm like, you could say the same thing about lifting weights. Like if you're not consistent with it, your muscle will deflate.
Hmm.
So you can't wear waist trainers and wear fajas and think that you can go out and drink and eat wings and eat fries and just eat a bunch
Hmm.
of fatty food and it works. No, it's not going to work. You got to have a proper diet. The reason why women wear these things is because fat is like a sponge, and when you eat certain things your body's going to retain water, and we need those things to kind of press that out. We don't have
Hmm.
anything to pump, like the blood is pumped by the heart, the
Hmm.
circulatory, that moves the circulatory system. We don't
Hmm.
have anything to pump the lymphatic system. The only thing we could do with that is get massages, wear the fajas, wear the waist trainers, because that's how we're gonna achieve those results. But let's go ahead and grab this comment here.
Yeah, because the menstrual cycle, it inconvenienced them for once a month. So now they wanted us to
Be available.
curb it to once for every 4 years.
Can you imagine?
Oh man, you know how little our population would be if that was the case?
Yeah. Well, there goes
And
that agenda.
Now, here's another thing. Now, so I remember back in like probably like 2008-ish or whatever, I remember seeing commercials talking about, oh, you we're not supposed to have, it was some type of birth control. I forget what it was. I don't think it's on the market anymore because, for whatever reason. And they're saying, oh, we're not meant to have all these periods and stuff. But here they are still giving like half-ass information. Now, granted, back in the days, yes, women had less periods. But here's why. They were pregnant more. They were breastfeeding
Hmm.
longer. When you're breastfeeding,
Hmm.
you're not going to have your menstrual cycle because your
Yeah, you
body
can't
can't
do
do
both at.
all of that at once.
Yes,
That's too
that's correct.
much.
Hmm.
So that, I mean, I enjoyed breastfeeding. I liked
Yeah, it
not
was the
having my
bomb.
period, like
Oh, it was so good.
yeah, during the time being pregnant, not having your period, like yeah, when you're pregnant more and you're breastfeeding longer, no, you're not gonna have your period. So that's why back in the days, women didn't have as much periods. They have more periods now because they are breastfeeding less or not breastfeeding as much or not breastfeeding as all. As soon as
Hmm.
they have a baby, they going out there to back to work and everything. So that means, hey, if you're not breastfeeding, guess what? You got your period again.
Aunt Flo is back to
Yes.
visit.
Oh yeah. Let's grab this comment.
These men are not appreciating the female body and how it works.
I mean,
Appreciating. I don't even know if he's acknowledging.
I just
Can he
think
appreciate what he don't know?
I just think that, he's probably I think just some of these men are just way too in touch with their feminine side that they're seeking the masculine aspect. Because that's essentially what's going to happen if you're telling these women that they're not supposed to be having periods and everything. They're going to have menopause early. And menopause
Hmm.
early means osteoporosis early, which means your
Hmm.
bones are going to fracture more easily.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
And if you're not producing as much estrogen and progesterone, guess what? Your testosterone levels go up. So hello, now you got more facial hair or more hair growing out in places other than your head and your
Yeah, I
eyebrows.
know. Shit, I already got facial hair. I don't need any more of it right now.
Right, exactly.
Like, I don't want to rush into that, having
No,
my
no,
period
no, not at all.
once
Bad
every
enough,
4 years.
bad enough ever since I was younger, with my cultural background, a lot of us in my culture have facial hair early, so so I don't need no more. I don't need
Hmm.
to have a catalyst for that
No,
to
no.
not have my menstrual cycle.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, I remember I was watching an episode of Dr. Oz before I stopped watching him. But when he started talking about pushing vaccines, but then he said he don't give his children vaccines. I think that's where he lost me or whatever. But
Wow.
now you telling other people to give their children vaccines, but you're not. But he was demonstrating the the density of the walls of a woman in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and stuff. So, of course, with the 20s and 30s, he demonstrated the female vaginal walls as like a brick wall, and then, or like a steel wall, and then like as like the 30s and 40s, more like a brick wall. But then when he got to like the menopause age, he used a paper to demonstrate the density of the walls. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to go through menopause if my walls are going to be like that. Because he took a
Hmm.
sledgehammer to kind of like demonstrate on how easily it will break. And of course, when he hit the hammer against the paper, of course it's going to break.
So he's talking about the elasticity.
The elastic,
Elasticity.
the
Okay.
elasticity of the walls, yes.
Wow.
So if you figure a woman is reaching menopause early, that's essentially what's going to happen. The density of her walls is going to get softer, and it's going to be paper thin, like he demonstrated with the hammer.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot for a body to go to.
It
I
is a
mean,
lot.
it's not even like you reached a age where you look old, but your body is breaking down. And
Mm-hmm.
then to tell people to start that early in life that it shouldn't even be happening
Yeah, you out there
is,
tripping.
yeah, yeah, that's a
He,
lot.
he he's a fool to say the least. I hope.
Mhm.
Let's grab this comment from Chelsea.
Speaking of being poorly educated on women's health, I had no idea until I worked in an office with a certain age group of of women that were going through menopause, that it wasn't something that happened for a year or two and then it was over. Like, you just continue to be in a state of menopause. Like, that is crazy. Is that common
Mhm.
knowledge? Did I just miss the memo?
No, I
Yeah,
don't think
like,
it's common knowledge.
not common knowledge, but what is, crazy about that is that when a lot of times women in menopause, they'll have their cycle and then like they won't have a cycle for like a couple months and then out of nowhere it could come again. Like it's just, that's why we just definitely have to be up on our health and,
Mhm.
do what we can so like we don't have like those flashes and just that uncomfortable things or feelings that come with that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, definitely. You know, try to do things that eat things that will help create the comfort in your body that you need.
absolutely, you definitely
Not wreak
need
havoc.
like we all need vitamin D.
Mhm.
That's one thing that a lot of us are lacking in. We definitely need those omega 3s. We gotta make sure our gut health is in order so that our body is able to absorb those necessary nutrients.
Okay.
Let's grab these
Comment.
comments.
I've lost my cycle and I am happy as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I just Googled how long does menopause last? And the first source is a government website that says it usually lasts 7 years, but can be as long as 14.
Bond.
And then it says the duration can depend on lifestyle factors such as smoking, the age it
Uh.
begins, and race and ethnicity. Oh, we love to read about that in medical textbooks.
Mhm.
And you know what's funny about that? Like when my grandmother had my mother, the doctor said she was in menopause and had my mom in menopause.
Okay.
That's just weird, and that's another thing that could possibly happen, even though the doctor may say you're in menopause, but you could mess around and have a change of life baby.
Yep.
So
That baby. That social security baby.
yeah, the body will do what it wants. So, and I know for our demographic, I know as long as we're like in good health, it seems like the age of childbirth is like limitless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories in Africa that these women older age is having babies, triplets and stuff.
Yeah, like
You know.
50s and 60s and stuff. Like, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind of makes sense though, because you can still get your period in the early stages of menopause. Even though you're not your most fertile, in theory, you should still be able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true. I mean, my grandma is a prime example. So, and then, what is that? Ruth in the Bible as well. Wasn't she of age, in that age range too, and had a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that story.
Hmm. Oh yeah. This is definitely we only have like 11 minutes left, but I really
Mhm.
love that we really got to touch on this topic here, and thank you silly man for bringing up that, touching on that video and
Hmm.
thinking that you're a expert.
Yeah, I think he tried to get away with it. It didn't work out for him.
It didn't
He was
work
like,
out
if
at
everybody
all.
else can say stupid stuff, let me say something stupid and see if I can get away with it. No, can't.
But hey,
Didn't
that
work.
that's just the world we live in now. Social media, that people think they could just say whatever they want. And where the freaking fact checkers on TikTok for that? Because that was just
Yeah, there's
that
plenty.
was
That's why
yeah.
his video got taken down.
He has so many freaking views on it. That thing was hilarious. And then so many comments. I think I put like 2 comments on there and stuff. But I wanted him to respond back to
Oh,
me, but I guess he didn't have that opportunity.
no, I guess not.
It's all good.
Mm.
Got
He
his
needs to
comment.
go back to school.
So he needs
That's
to
that.
mind his business. Like if you don't like if you're not gonna seek to understand something, don't just blurt out anything of what you think it should be. Like I don't know. It's just insane,
Yep.
and it's just very insane that
Well, I
people
think
think they.
it's the time we live in. People just say whatever comes to their head and just and they're getting away with it. So
And then the thing
and
about it,
achieving you know success because of it. So
the thing about it, there's so much more things going on in this world that men could be focusing on than to be focusing on whether a menstrual cycle is normal or not.
mm-hmm. We could.
Like, I mean, there's all types of, shifts happening in the financial system and currency, different countries banding together to get rid of the US currency. And you here worrying about whether women should be having a menstrual cycle once every 4 years.
I don't know. I
The
figured
freaking
he.
housing market is crazy. These apartment prices are crazy. But yet you're telling women that a menstrual cycle is unnatural.
Yeah. Yep.
So silly. But yeah, I will just say this, as women, I can't stress this enough. I know we talked about this of getting our health together, but we truly, truly, truly need to make sure that we have that self care for ourselves and make sure that we're not stressing out, because ultimately the root cause of everything that will go wrong in our body starts with stress. So if the food is causing stress in your body, that's something to look out for. If your
And
body is
inflammation.
right, inflammation, if your body is producing massive clots, that's something to
Hmm.
look out for. If you are feeling low energy during your cycle and just not wanting to be around anybody, a lot of that, you definitely got to look at that stuff and kind of try to like figure out, like, okay, I'm working out, but what else can I be doing?
Hmm.
You know,
Agreed.
um, things that you could eat to have a better cycle. Have some more soups during your cycle. Soups are very soothing to the body. Eat some more. I know for me, for my cycle time, I like to eat more okra. That has a lot of iron in it. It's very good for the womb and to nourish it and everything. So those are good options too.
Yeah, I love
Salmon.
okra.
Yeah, salmon, tuna, all those omega-3 fatty fish. Will do so good for your body during that time. And of course, use your teas. Prepare for your cycle. I like to prepare like sorrel right before the cycle. That can help to eliminate cramps if you do have them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we definitely gotta help our bodies from all aspects. Take a little bit from everything. I know a lot of Indian spices, a lot of the nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger. Those are great for your cycle, at least beforehand and everything. Let's go ahead and grab this comment.
I love sorrel, and I did not know that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, I bought a big bag, and I'm thinking I might make myself some more. Because, man, it's so delicious. Delicious yet nutritious. And it was great. I made it with a smoothie too, and it was very good.
Oh
So
my
good.
gosh.
Yeah, it was really good. So yeah, sorrel, definitely your red raspberry teas, your yoni steams, calendula. That's a very good tea as well. Lemon balm. What else? Nettles, milk thistle, all that stuff is good, but we got to make sure that we're eating properly with that. We can't just go out and be like, okay, I'm gonna eat a bunch of chips and everything, and I'm gonna satisfy this sweet tooth I got. But hey, if I drink this tea, like, no, it doesn't work that way. We gotta, make sure that we're giving ourselves the food to match with it.
Okay.
And it's definitely an ongoing process. This is not going to be an overnight thing where if your period is out of whack, it's a process. It may take some months to get you in line to balance your hormones and everything so that you have a pleasant period. So man, I love
Okay.
this.
I'm learning a lot.
4 minutes. Yeah, we definitely got some good information in today. And I definitely, when we upload this video on YouTube, I sure hope that a lot of women do, you know, listen to the episode and just learn a lot and, just take better control and better care of their bodies because we don't need to be getting all aggressive and stuff like the bonobos.
Yeah. I'm just doing like herbal teas during my period, which has made me happy and soothes me and de-stresses me. Because you feel the pain and everything like that, and you're just like, I just need something else to focus on. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what
I
I've been
mean,
doing.
well, that stuff's, you mentioned you have the IUD, and then, hey, if you're not getting heavy cycles, that's a beautiful thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that is great.
Yeah.
And if they're not lasting long, that's a great thing as well.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good.
yep, yep, yep. So, man, we got 3 minutes. So we could go ahead and, unless anybody else have a comment, we could go ahead and close this out. Azima, where can everyone find you?
You can find me again on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on YouTube and Facebook as OZD Wellness and Fitness. That's OZIDI. And where can we find
You're
you again?
So yeah, so all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. And please, please, please subscribe to our Wine Fine Podcast channel on YouTube. Get us increase our subscriber count where you can see hear our prior videos on the awesome subjects we've been talking about.
Mm,
And yeah, so that's WINEFINE podcast on YouTube. Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, we'll definitely be here again next week. Same time, same place. Sundays on the Stereo app at 8 p.m.
Okay.
I
Y'all
appreciate
have a good night,
everyone.
guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
By the way, and you could see Lars, the drummer, getting up from behind the drum set.